Aloha, Yokowe, Talofa, Rananim, Avade. This PowerPoint is an introduction to the U.S. affiliate Pacific Islands and has been created to accompany the PowerPoints about the individual U.S. affiliate Pacific Islands. The U.S. affiliate Pacific Islands are spread over a wide area in the Pacific Ocean and can be divided into Micronesian islands, which are made up of Palau, Guam, Commonwealth of Northern Mariana Islands, Micronesia, and the Marshall Islands. American Samoa is the South Pacific and is a part of Polynesian. Micronesia means small islands, and these islands lie to the north of the equator and the west of the international dateline. Polynesia means many islands. These two groups of islands occupy about 9.7 million square miles of the Pacific, but only 11,400 square miles of this is land. The islands vary from the high islands of volcano origin to the low-lying coral atolls. Many are inhabited while the number remain uninhabited.
Although each island has its own unique history, there is some common history in the waves of colonization that each encountered, starting with the Spanish expansion between 1675 and 1899. Germans became active traders in the mid-19th century, leading to a period of German colonization between 1884 and the start of the First World War in 1914. Japan also colonized many of the islands between 1885 and 1945. After the defeat of Japan at the end of Second World War, many islands remained under U.S. control, and in 1947 they became a United Nations trusteeship under the U.S. administration. Following criticisms of the U.S. administration of the islands in the 1950s, a move was made towards autonomy, and a number of different political relationships were negotiated. One unique legacy of the U.S. involvement in the Pacific is the nuclear testing that was carried over parts of the Marshall Islands between 1946 and 1958.
As mentioned previously, the U.S.-affiliated Pacific Islands include Guam, the Commonwealth of the Northern Marianas, American Samoa, the Republic of the Marshall Islands, the Republic of Palau, and the Federated State of Micronesia, which is made up of the state of Chuuk, Koshrai, Ponape, and Yap. These islands are populated by more than 500,000 people. They cross 5 Pacific time zones, and the people are both Micronesian and Polynesian, who speak over 20 different languages. The islands vary in their political relationship to the U.S. Currently, the islands enjoy 3 different types of relationship. American Samoa and Guam are currently territories of the United States. The Northern Marianas Islands relationship is termed a Commonwealth, while the Republic of Palau, Republic of the Marshall Islands, and Federated States of Micronesia are freely associated states. These political relationships impact the status of their citizens. Everyone born in Guam and Northern Mariana Islands is a U.S. citizen by birth. American Samoans are U.S. nationals but not citizens. Citizens of Palau, Marshall Islands, and Federated States of Micronesia are neither citizens or nationals of the U.S.
This in turn affects the entitlements of each of the island's population. Therefore, as a U.S. nationals, American Samoa cannot vote or hold an elected office in the U.S. Additional restrictions apply to the citizens of the Marshalls and Federal States of Micronesia. Citizens of these countries are allowed to travel to and live in the U.S. to to look for work or seek education without need for a visa, but they must have a valid FSM or Marshallese passport. Once in the U.S., they are allowed to apply for a U.S. Social Security number, and they can be volunteer for the U.S. military. If they receiving a higher education in the U.S., they are allowed to apply for Pell Grant. Each state has its own requirements for applicants for welfare assistance, and this assistance is not currently under the compact agreements. The FSM and the Marshall qualify for many, but not all federal programs such as FEMA assistance, FNAP, and maternal and child health funding. The economics of the U.S. affiliated islands are closely linked to the U.S. through the various mechanisms. Some islands are economically impacted by a strong U.S. military presence, for example, Guam and the Marshall Islands. The Free Association states receive a compact funding. The Marshall Islands also receive compensation for the impact of the nuclear testing. Most islands have a small private sector, and tourism thus play a role in the island economics. However, government employment play a significant role in all the islands' economics. The historical accounts reported healthy and robust island population, but today some of the highest level obesity in the world are found in the Pacific Islands. In the most community, the rate of obesity is well over 20%, and it's all some places rate has the highest has 80%. Associated with this are the high rate of non-communicable disease such as diabetes and hypertension. Alcohol, tobacco, and bitter nut use are also common.
Prior to European contact, Pacific Island diet centered around root crops and starches, such as breadfruit, which may have been pounded or fermented, banana, taro, tapioca, coconut milk or cream, and seafood. The contemporary Pacific Island diet has a higher reliance on canned and imported foods. It varies slightly from island to island and is a blend of local foods with European, Japanese, and American influences. Food plays a significant role in Pacific Island cultures. It represents prosperity, generosity, and community support. Typically, hospitality is extended to visitors who are asked to share a meal. Even if a visitor is not hungry, he or she will usually eat a small amount of food, so the host is not disappointed. Food is also used as a gift, and refusing a food gift is considered an insult to the host. There are key values shared by these cultures which may help you understand the people of the islands. Family always comes first. Faith and religions are predominantly Christian and are an important part of the culture. Church activities are woven into the culture, and most people attend church. Time is a more fluid concept than our Western idea. Being on time might mean showing up within 2 hours of the appointed time. This concludes the overview of the U.S. affiliated Pacific Islands. We invite you to visit each of the islands by listening to additional slideshows about each place narrated by residents of the islands. They all follow a similar format and vary from about 5 to 15 minutes in length.